and he has to wait a whole 3 months just for his next court date. He's stuck in Korea for another 3 months.
지난 3월에 열린 조니 소말리의 1차 공판에 이어 2차 공판이 드디어 열렸습니다. 조니 소말리는 공판 일주일 전부터 또다시 라이브 방송을 켜고 으스대며 한국을 조롱했고 법정까지 우습게 여기는 발언을 하며 큰 소리를 쳤습니다. 하지만 그런 모습은 어디로 간 걸까요? 법정에 들어선 조니 소말리의 얼굴엔 두려움이 가득했고 법정을 나서는 그의 얼굴엔 오직 실망과 절망, 그리고 이제야 모든 걸 깨달은 듯한 두려움 가득한 눈빛만이 남아있었습니다. 2차 공판이 끝난 직후 이 장면을 지켜본 미국 변호사 리걸 마인셋은 방송을 통해 조니 소말리의 이중적인 행동을 조목조목 짚었습니다. 조니 소말리가 법을 조롱하고 사법부를 우롱하겠다고 예고한 그 모든 발언들은 사실은 극단적인 발언과 행동으로 관심을 끌어 순전히 후원금을 끌어모으기 위한 쇼에 불과하다고 말이죠.
Everything that happened at the trial was crazy enough. We had a new charge that came in. We had a not guilty plea for the deepfakes. We had Hank crashing out. We had the lawyer saying he has no proof of innocence on the counts in which Johnny has pled not guilty, so they have absolutely no proof that he's not guilty. All that stuff is crazy. All that stuff is insane. But the day wasn't done yet because Johnny Somali had promised a court stunt, a prank. And Johnny Somali always tries to pretend that he does things. He tries to pretend by talking tough, but then doesn't actually do things. And he tried to say, hey, I'm going to show up to court in a outrageous outfit. I'm going to show up to court and look ridiculous, and I don't care what the judge says because I'm Johnny Somali, I'm Ramsey, and I do whatever I want. I'm some big badass. Well, he didn't do that. He showed up in just a plain black shirt. He wasn't even wearing the MAGA hat. He didn't put on that red hat until he got outside the courtroom. It was just for, outside the building, really. It was just for him to pretend, him to flex, and him to get those media shots of him in the hat. He actually didn't wear that in the courtroom, and because, once again, he is scared of the judge. He is indeed legitimately scared, I think, of contempt of court now because he knows that's something he can be hit with and it does carry severe penalties. So you can see he's got this outfit on, this cosplay. Hank is filming him. Now, he had said he was going to come to court, and the reason why I think he filmed this against the wall is because his narrative was going to be, oh, I showed up to court in this, and oh, this is all fake news, and look at me, I'm some cool guy because I showed up to court in this outfit. When in fact, no, he just wore it on Hank's roof alone with only Hank there with him, standing and recording him and, checking out that outfit. I think he wanted to get some clout from that and some attention from that and try to have some counter narrative, but indeed he was completely exposed here as just doing it alone on a roof.
영상에는 해외 네티즌들의 많은 댓글이 달렸습니다. 한국인들은 그냥 보내주지 않아. 옥상에서 폼 잡는 존이 오늘은 너무 안쓰러워서 웃기지도 않아. 내 웃음배를 돌려줘. 그는 자신이 저지른 2가지 일에 대해 문자 그대로 무죄를 주장하고 자신의 채널에 게시했는데 그의 변호사조차도 그의 무죄를 입증할 증거가 전혀 없다니. 그는 우스꽝스럽게 보이기 위해 특정한 옷이나 아이템을 입을 필요가 없습니다. 그저 그의 얼굴을 보기만 하면 됩니다. 램지는 치와와의 인간형입니다. 그는 모든 사람과 사물에 가장 먼저 지저대며 내가 얼마나 위험한 존재인지를 보여주려고 합니다. 다만 멀리서 지저대는 것이라면 말이죠. 하지만 누군가와 마주하게 되면 그는 비겁하게 물러서서 아무 일도 없는데 왜라고 합니다. 대한민국 사법부를 조롱하겠다던 조니 소말리는 점점 허세되신 현실에 대한 두려움을 느끼는 듯합니다. 이번 2차 공판은 단순한 절차가 아니었습니다. 검찰이 새로운 칼을 꺼내든 결정적 순간이었죠. 기존의 업무방해죄 2건과 경범죄처벌법 위반 2건, 딥페이크 영상 6건까지 이미 5건의 혐의로 재판을 받던 조니 소말리에게 검찰은 업무방해 1건, 그리고 성폭력처벌법 위반 2건을 추가 기소했습니다. 그런데 재판을 불과 며칠 앞두고 또 하나의 치명적인 변수가 터졌습니다. 바로 변호인이 교체된 건데요. 조니 소말리는 기존 국선 변호사와 트러블이 있어 새롭게 사선 변호사를 선임했지만 이 변호사가 과연 조니 소말리에게 도움이 될진 모릅니다. 형사사건 경험이 전무하고 딥페이크 범죄 및 성폭력 특례법에 대한 경험도 없으며 심지어 지난 20년 동안 형사재판 출석 기록조차 전혀 없는 인물입니다. 도대체 왜 이런 인물을 선임한 걸까요? 다수의 법조계 출신 유튜버들은 이렇게 분석합니다. 결국 돈 문제입니다. 후원은 끊기고 수입은 없으며 변호인 비용조차 감당하기 힘든 상태인 거죠. 실제로 조니 소말리의 지인은 텔레그램을 통해 변호사 비용이 버겁다며 기부를 요청하기도 했습니다. 이번 재판에서 조니 소말리의 변호사는 사실 아무것도 한 일이 없다고 합니다.
60 days for the crimes that he has currently pled guilty to. and he is facing up to 21 years for the crimes that he has not pled guilty to as of yet. Now, we'll get to the bombshell in just a moment, but what happened after that is that the judge asked the lawyer, do you have any evidence of Johnny Somali being innocent of the deepfake charges? And the lawyer simply said, no, there is no evidence of him being innocent. So that's not looking good. And then when the court finally finished, they went outside and Hank was cursing out everybody, having a massive meltdown, total crash out. Johnny was trying to calm him down. So that will definitely make it in the news. There will be clips of that. Don't worry, I will be posting tomorrow morning with all the fresh information. And they even accidentally walked into the basement. Now, the big bombshell, and this is going to screw Johnny so bad, is that the next court date is actually on August 13th. You heard that right. We're in May right now, and he has to wait a whole 3 months just for his next court date. He's stuck in Korea for another 3 months.
이제 조니 소말리는 완전히 고립됐습니다. 후원자도 실력 있는 조력자도 없습니다. 그가 그토록 무시했던 대한민국 사법체계는 지금 그를 차갑고 철저하게 압박하고 있습니다. 이제 조니 소말리가 집으로 돌아갈 가능성은 거의 제로에 가깝습니다.
You can now safely report that he faces up to 36 years behind bars, 36 years of prison time, which is a pretty large amount. Now, typically Korean courts don't give the maximum, but once again, it's moving us further and further up the line for potential time for Ramsey Khalid Ismail. Now, Ramsey today claimed he pled not guilty. He said, hey, I pled not guilty. I pled not guilty to all the new stuff. That is not correct, according to the record that we have so far in the media. And by record, I mean the record from the translators on the Somali conviction team. That's my team that was in the courtroom and reporting on this. I've now reviewed at the end of the day. It took me several hours to review everybody's notes. Everybody had him really as guilty. Now, his lawyer does have an accent. It was kind of hard to understand him, and the way he phrased it was weird. But the media and everybody is reporting it as guilty, that he pled guilty. So we're going to see at that next trial if he tries to back off of that and say he's not guilty. We will see about that one. But the thing about this charge is there is really no defense for it. Why is there no defense? Well, there's no defense because a ride was shut down. We have the video, I've shown it on this channel, of a ride being shut down. If a ride is shut down, you have interfered with a business. It's clear cut. It's open and closed. We have it on video. There's no debating that. There's no opting that. Because of his actions, but for his actions, that's causality in the legal term, that ride would not be shut down. So there's pretty much no defense. So even if he does plead not guilty, it'll kind of just be an annoyance, really, because, he's clearly guilty of this. There's really no way around it.
여러분의 소중한 의견을 남겨주세요. 바쁘시더라도 구독과 좋아요 부탁드립니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 앞으로도 더욱 노력하여 유익하고 재밌는 콘텐츠로 찾아오겠습니다. 지금까지 단골이슈였습니다.